Hello, Quickbase community, and welcome to Empower 2021. My name is Ed Jennings, and I'm the CEO, and I'm so excited to be with you today. It was exactly a year ago that I started and got to participate in my first Empower event and see the energy and the excitement that you all brought and the passion you had for our platform. It was probably one of the best first weeks that anyone could ever hope for in a new company. And a lot has happened to us in the last year. It's been a significant year. I think personally and professionally for every single one of us, we experienced and went through a range of things that we never thought possible. And so here we sit beginning to emerge from this past year, and we thought a fitting theme was to acknowledge that we are moving forward, and we move forward, I think, stronger. There's an interesting article in Wall Street Journal last week about the emotional impact that this past year may have on all of us. And they actually looked at endurance athletes and adventure athletes that do things like the Iditarod and ultra marathons and these really intense things. And what they've proven that both physically and emotionally going through hard things makes you stronger. It makes you more able and confident to experience and get through other hard things. And so we love this notion of facing this world together, getting through what we have to, moving forward more resilient, more agile, more flexible, and with a lot of optimism. And I'm really excited to hand over the microphone in a moment here to Jay, who's going to take you through a whole range of announcements, whole new ways of service offerings that we're bringing to the market for the first time, new pricing and packaging, and our product, a range across the whole spectrum of our product of things that you'll be able to take to work tomorrow. So really excited about all of that. But we exit this pandemic, and really we see three mega trends that have been happening for quite a long time being accelerated. And the first is democratization, consumerization of technology, democratization of the IT organization. It's things like bring your own device to work. People have expectations of ease of use and simplicity in the applications they use every day at home. They expect that same level of experience when they get to their business applications. And how do you move technology from being something that's done in a small group in IT across a business? So people throughout the company can not only use, but build the applications that they need to succeed and do their job every day. And that's been our charter from the beginning: low-code, citizen automation, citizen development. The second trend is digital transformation and automation. And we're seeing this in all businesses. All companies are becoming digital businesses. We're seeing banks that used to be known as sort of white pillar, stodgy red brick buildings are now fintech companies. And retail and restaurants, we haven't even been able to visit those. We have to buy them online and get food delivered to our home through a great digital user experience. All companies are trying to take advantage of this. And so much of our experience of the web and the mobile has already moved to being totally digital and highly automated. But now what we're seeing is it's more about the back office, the back end. It's supply chains and logistics and warehousing that's slowing things down. You can order in one click anything you want from around the world. It may take a week to get to your house. It may take 3 months, all depending on the back office automation. So we're seeing this last mile digital transformation as being a really big next step in this part of this mega trend. And then finally, connectedness. The shift from creating software to composing it. It's communities like this community helping each other understand and get the most out of technology. Or some of our partners in our network that build add-ons that can be layered on top of the Quickbase platform to give more either vertical solutions or other things that allow you to solve more problems more quickly. It's allowing for connectedness across different suppliers and partners to build applications more assembling than a group of people sitting in a room coding all by themselves. These are mega trends. They've been happening for a long time, and they're accelerating. And it's our aspiration, our aim, to help you take advantage of and harness the power of these mega trends. So first, what are we doing? And not generally, but what are we announcing right now, today and tomorrow, about how we're helping you to accelerate democratization, allowing anyone in your company to quickly and safely automate and modernize the way you work. And the first is just to reiterate, from the beginning, we've been about democratizing software, citizen development, citizen automation. It's no code. I love this graphic because it represents we're ushering in a whole new era of how applications are built and designed. Similar to the way Salesforce used the software through a line through it to usher in a whole new era of SaaS. But we've also learned and heard again and again from our customers, from our partners, from the industry is people to move on this journey of citizen development, citizen automation, democratization, they need support, they need help. They need people who've been there before, people that can help them learn and innovate more quickly, adopt more quickly, realize value sooner. And that comes through a lot of both people within Quickbase and our suppliers and our partners and our resellers who bring services to bear on that. And I'm really excited to announce a whole range of enablement service packages that we'll be launching this week. And let me be clear up front, we see our role with these packages to enable you and our builders and our users to build outstanding applications. So all of these are designed to be a guide, a support type role to you being the primary builder. So things like ongoing implementation and support, technical consulting and architectural support, governance and best practices design, care support at different levels, and then training and certification. We've packaged these different capabilities up in 4 different packages, from basic, just to support self-led experience, all the way through to a white glove, how do you build a global program for an extended enterprise? More to come on these over the next few days as we show the great enablement services packages that we've launched this week. A great example of this is our appathons that we've now been running for quite a few of our enterprise customers. Last year, we announced a broad appathon and had some great participation. I believe some, as Jay would say, showed the cash, had some people win some real money for some fantastic Quickbase built applications. But what we did this past year was also start to introduce appathons at specific companies, where we would come in and support a champion or an executive who maybe was having great use as a team of our platform, but wanted to spread and show more users and more builders and more use cases across their enterprise. And AT&T is a great example of this. We had a real champion who had a team that was passionate about how much sort of efficiency and productivity that we were helping them drive in their distinct business unit, but wanted to share that and see if there were other people across AT&T. So we came in and helped them run an appathon within their organization. In about 3.5 weeks, we helped take 7 teams who had no exposure prior to Quickbase, get them trained, up to speed, designed and built apps, and launched, built 7 separate applications, over $1 million in savings, and exposed us to 5 whole different business units. It really was the catalyst for us getting to a much broader reach within that organization, and for AT&T moving from being pockets, little fires as we call it, of success to something much more broad scale. We'd love to talk to more organizations about that. This URL at the bottom at Appathon, Quickbase/Appathon is a way you can find out more if it makes sense for your organization. But the other way we're thinking about democratization is not just services, it's also our pricing. We see many of organizations start at a user pricing model, and that makes sense. Most SaaS organizations do. And for some, they'll always stay on a user-based model. What we found is what was limiting companies from really broadly spreading across an extended enterprise is sometimes the user model doesn't make sense. Sometimes organizations find more utility in pivoting to a usage-based model where we don't count users. We look at read requests and APIs and the usage, the consumption of the platform. It allows people to open up to a range of use cases where there may be users that have infrequent or external users. So it's a great new way, again, of democratizing the use of Quickbase across much larger and broader organizations. But then as customers start taking advantage of moving to a usage-based model, they also need transparency and visibility into how the platform's being used, especially as they democratize it across their company and users even outside of their company. So things like who's on the platform, what applications have they built, how are they doing in their entitlements, how many applications are connected to other applications. It's this visibility and transparency of use that allows them to really understand and then articulate to leaders in their companies the value that the Quickbase platform is delivering. So that was about how we're helping and announcements this week about accelerating democratization. We're going to spend a lot of time talking about accelerating automation. How do we free information that sit currently in your systems of record? How do we free use cases and workflows across teams and across your business? And you're going to see this architecture diagram several times. It's a way we're starting to try to give simplicity and clarity to all of the things that we do. And it's great to say we have announcements in each of these 5 major categories for ways we're improving our security and reliability and our scalability and performance as our foundational level, to creator, ways we're simplifying and streamlining how we do complex aggregation, and our foundations tools. Insights, where dashboards is a fantastic new canvas where people can introduce data from a range of their applications in one simple, easy to see, highly visual way with widgets that we've developed and even third parties have developed. Connections, we're going to spend a lot of time talking about our APIs, our JSON APIs, as well as a lot of the development we've taken place both in the connections with pipelines as well as the new dashboard for pipelines. And then finally, governance. Tools that allow organizations to deploy and in a safe, secure manner unleash the power of citizen automation across their enterprise. So I'm going to let Jay spend a lot of time on these, and the team, the product managers and the engineers, because these are really exciting announcements that we can't wait to share with you. The third lever, connectedness. How do we unite this ecosystem, this powerful community that you're all a part of, the technologies that we provide, the services that we and our partners provide to allow us all to automate together? And so first and foremost, we have been making significant and persistent investments in pipelines and API integrations, making sure that you can integrate and extract and share data with the applications most important to your business. From major business applications like Salesforce and ServiceNow to workflow tools like DocuSign and Twilio and the Teams environment to just basic file management tools like Box and SharePoint and OneDrive. But at the same time, you'll see us investing more and more in our partner ecosystem. We've been fortunate to have an elaborate and successful group of both Quickbase dedicated service providers and regional partners. What I'm really excited about is, in addition to that, we're seeing an evolving marketplace from various partners that are building add-ons and finding ways to create marketplaces where those can be identified and found and shared with each other, where innovation is happening outside of Quickbase, but to the Quickbase platform. You'll see us announcing, and I'll announce one in a minute, our technology alliances with folks like AWS and SAP and Lucid and many others. And then finally, our ongoing evolution as some of the world's largest global systems integrators start to embrace Quickbase with their customers around the world. I also want to do a quick shout out. We have several great sponsors for this year's event. I want to make sure I identify them. You'll see their logos and hear from them at different times over the next couple days. But thank you to all of our sponsors for participating in this year's Empower event. I mentioned one quick announcement I want to make, and Jay will cover this briefly. One of the things as new to the Quickbase family and the platform, I noticed that a lot of sales calls I'd participate in with prospects and a lot of when I'd be pulled into different engagements with our customers and our solution architects, a lot of times they'd start conversations around new use cases or new users with diagramming tools. And oftentimes I saw Lucid charts. They'd have a great discovery session where they're understanding and starting to diagram and plan and visualize what is the workflow that you're trying to improve and what are the systems you're integrating with. And they'd start to map it out. They'd start to map out the data schema that we will need to have in Quickbase in order to build an application around that particular workflow. And kind of like peanut butter and chocolate, these two things seem to go really well together. So we're doing a great strategic partnership with Lucid Charts. Jay will share an interview that we had just the other day with Carl Sun, their CEO, about how these two tools, visualization and documentation and planning from Lucid Chart, married with orchestration and automation from Quickbase, is a powerful combination, especially for a lot of the new builders and new organizations that are coming on board. How do we help you democratize, automate, and connect? You're going to hear a lot about that over the next several days, both in terms of the services, the pricing, and the products that we bring. I'm really excited that you've come and joined the next few days with us, and I hope you take advantage of a range of the sessions, both the broad sessions as well as the offline sessions, to learn more about how you can take advantage of the platform. But I want to close with introducing Lee Priors, who's been a long time fan and participant. She was actually an employee and learned our platform when she was in Intuit, and then she took it with her when she went to Workday. She's one of those people that just gets stuff done and is a fabulous builder and a great advocate. So with that, I'd like to introduce Lee Priors. Thank you.
Lee, how are you doing today?
I am doing excellent, Jay. And yourself?
I'm doing terrific. Thank you very much. We're finally getting some nice spring weather here in Boston. Really, thank you again for joining me today, and thanks for the chance to have a conversation with you. Now at Workday, what business problems are you charged with solving for Workday, and how is Quickbase helping you now?
Well, so at Workday, we do not have a big ERP system like Oracle or SAP on purpose. We're a lighter, quicker product, and we don't want a big ERP system. We don't have the volume in manufacturing for that to be the justification to go buy onto a big, heavy system. So we want to be able to enable our supply chain processes, and again, all of the interactions with our vendors. We have a lot of different vendors for the data center, and have that way to connect and share a workflow with them that's highly automated, where nobody is what they call doing swivel chair integrations, where you give me this spreadsheet and I upload it somewhere else. We're trying to make it a exceptions only process where we just manage things that go off schedule, and Quickbase is core to us being able to automate this.
Excellent. Well, thank you for that description. And when you also were mentioning to me a little bit about how the new Quickbase enablement services and some of the usage-based pricing offerings that we've made available have helped you and your team. Could you describe a little bit about how that's happened?
Yeah, when I first came to Workday, I was unknown to them. They were unknown to me. I was unknown to their systems, but I took a quick look around and realized they didn't have what we needed for this. Pretty much anywhere I've showed up since working at Intuit, I look around for Quickbase, and if it's not there, I bring it in. Workday's not the first I've done this, but they didn't know me, and this was a new technology to them. So it was easier for me to start with a proof of concept and do some experiments and show experiments. And that really fostered people to start thinking innovatively, that they could start small and then add to it and add to it. And that it was really, the design was coming straight from their mouths. There was no long process of making a user story and then all of the steps that make that up and turning that into a TRD. Once you start talking about it, Quickbase is so easy to use. You can start building while you're talking and then add on it and add on it. And so that did a lot to boost the confidence of users around me that the tool could handle what I was saying it could handle. And the way the packages were structured, it allowed me to start small with the idea of getting bigger as Quickbase got stickier, as people trusted it more, as they trusted me more in automating their processes. It allowed us to scale in an affordable way that nobody was trying to shut us down for expense reasons, and we could just focus on the work. And the partners that we've had in this program are amazing. Lan Snowick is our implementation consultant. I don't know what we'd do without her. She's been with us every step of the way and been a huge enabler to us being successful on Quickbase for sure.
Oh, that's great. Well, we appreciate that, and certainly Leanne is a terrific and highly valued employee within Quickbase, and I'm thrilled that in her work and partnership with you, it's been able to create so much value for you and so much success for Workday. We really appreciate
the whole team. She sets everybody at ease. Again, they can see as we're talking something get built, so they can see that it's not this kind of esoteric, once it left my mouth, I'm not sure how this gets enabled in a system. They can trace it all along. And so to me, Quickbase is very inclusive in that you can be a business person who's not a coder and still work on your own automation, still work on your own applications to change your workday and the workday of those around you. That's what I love about it, is I don't need a deep coder to listen to me and then I lose track of how the build goes. And I have to wait for something to be done, or I have to pay a few $1,000s for a report to be changed. No, we can change it as we go. And that does a lot to make people buy into the entire process because they feel connected to it. They can see their work in it.
Well, that's terrific. Lee, thanks so much for taking the time to join me today. Thank you so much for your partnership. We love working with you, and have a great Empower and have a great week.
You too, Jay. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ed, and thanks, Lee, for that great overview. It tees up for what is going to be a terrific Empower product keynote. Hi, everybody. I'm Jay Jamison, the Chief Product and Technology Officer at Quickbase. Welcome to our annual Quickbase Empower User Conference. We are so grateful that you've joined us. Thank you for your time. As always, you can find my contact info directly on this slide. Please get in touch. I'm here to help you in any way that I can. As I always do, I like to start this off by giving thanks. I am so grateful to our entire product organization in the United States, in Sofia, Bulgaria, all our customer-facing professionals in care and customer success and sales and in marketing across our organization, all who are coming to work every day, striving to serve you and deliver the best value, the best impact that we can to you each and every day. Before we get started as well, I also need to express my thanks and appreciation sincerely to Beth Hyland. She and the entire production team have worked tirelessly over the last several months to put together what will be a great virtual Empower event. And with that, I'm going to dive right in. So, quick housekeeping. This is a talk given to you for informational purposes only, and it is subject to change. Now, how it started. What a difference a year makes. Here's a photo from the setup from last year's Quickbase Empower product keynote. As with everyone, I was working hard, as was the team, to adapt and overcome to some pretty dicey and fast-changing situations. And at last year's Empower keynote, given from my living room pictured here, we talked about a number of new innovations that we were releasing or planning to release soon. We had pipelines that just come out. We had a new API that we just released. We talked about platform analytics, a new table report, and more. But we were dealing with a great deal of uncertainty. We really weren't sure how this was all going to come together, how you, our customers, would find value from it. And how it's going a year later is something that I think was just tremendously exciting to see. Over the past year, not only did our teams deliver on a stacked set of innovation that we promised to you last year, we saw tremendous adoption from you, our customers. At Quickbase a year ago, we had just made available our new JSON API, and we have seen since then a 40x increase in monthly traffic against that API. And pipelines, the single largest and broadest expansion of Quickbase's capabilities ever, is also just barely a year old, and we've seen an amazing 70x increase in monthly traffic. And with those types of innovation, as well as the impact that you, our customers, saw in what Quickbase could do in helping you adapt to a very dynamic, very challenging set of situations, we saw nearly 25 billion requests against our platform since Empower a year ago. So that is showcasing that we are building innovation and delivering innovation that you, our customers, want. And that's very exciting for us as we sit here today. But we're not stopping there. We are doubling down. We're dropping the hammer. We are accelerating innovation. To get to you more of what you love about Quickbase faster, we are committing to increase our R&D staff by 50% this year. This investment will accelerate innovation into delivering greater value and greater impact for you. And that is great news for our customers, our partners, and our community. And not only are we accelerating innovation through investing in our own research and development capability, we are also investing and working more closely with industry-leading partners to bring more innovation to you from across the ecosystem. To showcase a great example of this, I am now excited to announce a new and exciting partnership with Lucid. Lucid is a market leader in the online collaboration space, making innovative tools such as Lucid Charts and Lucid Spark that really streamline the ability for teams to come together and talk through complex, important business problems in their work and brainstorm solutions. People use Lucid to help facilitate the discussion, the documentation, the desired state of solutions to workflows and challenges in their business. Once they have that diagram, Quickbase can then make it very easy to turn those diagrams into trusted business software solutions in your company. This makes it a very strong and natural partnership for us. To talk more about this, here's a great conversation that Ed and Lucid CEO Carl Sun recently had on what we were doing together.
Quickbase community, I'm really excited to be joined today by Carl Sun, who's the CEO and co-founder of Lucid Software. And we want to talk more about this partnership we just announced because it's really exciting. I mean, this started with watching builders like you use these two great tools together, Lucid Charts and Quickbase. And so we thought, let's see if we can partner and bring these together. So Carl, welcome.
Thanks, Ed. Appreciate being here.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit. Tell us about Lucid. I think a lot of our community knows it well, but for those who don't, tell us about Lucid and how did it all begin? I mean, tell us about the founding, the idea, where did it start?
Oh, thanks, Ed. The founding idea was really my co-founder. He was struggling, maybe like many of the people in the audience here. They were building something complex. He was having a hard time getting on the same page with his team. It was about a dozen people, building a complex product in the health benefits management space, so highly regulated, very stringent rules. And he needed something that was more collaborative, more graphical, more visual. And he went out and built that first version of Lucid Chart because it didn't exist at the time. And of course, over time, we've evolved as a company. We're really have a visual collaboration suite now. Lucid Chart is our core and oldest product. It's been on the market for 10 years new now, and it's improving all the time.
Fantastic. So we found this out when we started talking that you guys refer to a lot of your users as builders as well. And that's, a lot of our community, we call our builder community. And, we saw Lucid as a precursor to Quickbase, as a way to initiate people thinking of, then diagramming, alone or in a team, in a collaborative, either way, then to move downstream. But I'd love to know your thoughts on how these two tools could work well together.
Yeah, absolutely. We see Lucid Chart as the intelligent diagramming application within our visual collaboration suite. And it really empowers teams to clarify complexity and really align insights and build the future faster. So it's a great way to plan and structure your ideas. The intelligent diagramming feature set brings together sort of advanced collaboration on the one hand and clarity in terms of visualizing whether it's technical systems or business processes together so that builders can get to a solution quickly and thoughtfully. So I think it makes a lot of sense that many successful Quickbase apps start off with Lucid Chart. It's a good step and a key way to plan for any kind of meaningful solution that you're building.
Yeah, and how do you see it benefiting a lot of the people who use both together?
Yeah, I think we see the key value we bring to the Quickbase community is all about breaking down that complexity that I just referred to in a much more intuitive and user-friendly way. So we understand that building these apps, these applications can be really hard and complex. And it's probably even harder to bring along others that you need to along this journey. So if we can help you navigate this complexity more effectively in the ideation and planning phases of a Quickbase application, we can help you build your applications more quickly and hopefully successfully. Great. So the integration itself will enable a Quickbase builder to use Lucid Chart to visualize your data model in sort of a best-in-class way, and then turn that data model into the beginning of a Quickbase application by bringing it directly into Quickbase rather than you having to recreate it from scratch.
No, that's fantastic. I mean, so many too, as we expand in an organization, as we bring new builders in the fold, it's such a great way for them, as you said, to just more simply see what they're trying to solve for. Even a lot of our sales technical, sales engineers or solution architects will start many conversations with Lucid Open and just try to understand, well, how does the process work now? And what data do you need to access? And what do you like to display? And they start to build the schema next to it. And pretty soon they've sort of mapped it out in a very sort of Socratic interactive way. It's really exciting to see how it works on the ground and with our real customers.
Oh yeah, that's great. And we really appreciate those of you who are users of Lucidchart. And if you're not, of course, I'd encourage you to check it out and give us any thoughts on how to improve it. But we're really trying to help democratize this idea of visual communication and process thinking. More and more people are working with highly complex systems and processes, and it's hard to make sense of it. And seeing it visually can help you understand it, can help you convey that to the people who need to know, and you can understand what's actually going on today, so you can figure out what are the changes that you need to make to improve whatever process or application that you're trying to automate and build.
Fabulous. I love it. If you can brainstorm it, if you can visualize it, then you can automate it. I mean, there's such a fun, logical flow to that. Well, we're thrilled for the partnership. We see our customers being empowered by using both tools together, Lucidcharts and Quickbase, to deliver value faster, collaborate easier, and just get to those business challenges and solve them at the edge of a business that our users and builders are dealing with every day much faster and easier. So thanks so much. Look forward to talking again, and thanks for spending time with us today.
Absolutely. Thanks, Ed. Thanks, everyone.
Yes, we're working together with Lucidchart, one of the most well-known and successful diagramming platforms, to make that transition from planning applications to building and iterating applications much more streamlined. This is a major step forward in building our ecosystem of citizen automation and development, and it continues to expand our capabilities beyond what Quickbase can do on its own. More to come on this announcement in the future, but in the meantime, please go to quickbase.com/lucid to learn more, and #Lucid on our Slack channel. So great, Quickbase is investing in its own product innovation engine, and it is working with industry-leading partners. Where is all this innovation and investment heading? It's heading toward a product vision that's clear, one that is bold, broad, and differentiated. And I'd like to talk about it briefly. Our vision imagines a world that fuses three key themes we see in enterprise software: automation, democratization, and connectedness. All themes we see accelerating and having a massive impact in how digital operations evolve and transform in the years ahead. Let's talk about each. We believe first in a world that will be ever more automated, with automation enabling the streamlining and continuous improvement of all manners of work and data flows. You saw that a little bit in what Lee was talking about. We also believe emphatically in a world where democratization has a greater impact, and that companies seeking to empower and harness intellectual capital in their organization and throughout their ecosystem, those will be the winners. Command and control style central solutions and digital strategies will just be too slow in today's fast-moving, dynamic marketplace. And finally, we believe connectedness is key. Software that empowers different subject matter expertise to raise more voices, software that connects flexibly to other systems and data sources, and software and licensing that connects organizations broadly to drive greater impact in the marketplace. Very, very key in terms of where we're going. With that as a vision, here is how we think about and organize the categories of our accelerating innovation. And I want to talk about each of them now briefly. I'm going to start at the bottom, foundations. Quickbase is built on a strong foundation. Our imperative with foundations is to accelerate and invest to deliver a secure, highly performant, scalable system for you. We've made very strong progress on our Quickbase foundations over the past year, seeing performance increases of greater than 20%, with traffic increases also growing by more than 20%. Then we move to the top four components of these four boxes you can see, which comprise the capabilities that enable you to build and operate Quickbase applications and solutions. The first is Creator, which is where our builders create, build, and modify applications. Our goal with Creator is to enable Quickbase app builders to gain greater efficiency and greater potential in the solutions they can build. Then we have Insights, which is a set of capabilities that enable users to unlock real-time operational analytics from across systems securely and in real time. with the goal of helping your users gain easy, intuitive, and powerful ways to access operational insights. Connections leverages technologies such as pipelines and our new JSON API to enable users to connect to third-party systems and unlock data to be extended and leveraged in new ways within their organization. And finally, and quite importantly, Quickbase governance. It represents the unified feature set of product capabilities we invest in to help customers safely and securely build and operate our no-code platform in demanding enterprise-grade environments. With that overall framing, let's dive right into all the exciting innovation that we have for you and how it is going to help you provide greater impact and greater value in your work with our platform. To do that, I'm excited again to bring to the Quickbase Empower Keynote stage, Harrison Hirsch, Director of Product Operations at Quickbase. Harrison, take it away.
Hey Jay, thanks for having me. Love being back here and seeing all the energy that comes around at this time of the year at Empower. One of the things that I always love to do when we start these is take a look at all the innovation that our builders have done over the past year on Quickbase. And 2020 has definitely been a year of change and one that Quickbase was very uniquely suited to adapt to. So let's kick off with just a quick fun with numbers and look at all the great innovation that all of our builders have been creating on Quickbase. Not going to read each one of these, but you can clearly see that you've all done some, built some pretty crazy applications. None of these are test apps. They're actually all real production Quickbase applications serving data and many users. I don't put these up here as a challenge for everyone to try and beat, but more to illustrate all of the great innovation that comes with Quickbase applications, and more so the fact that these types of things, this change, this innovation, this level of scale is really difficult to achieve outside of Quickbase with any sort of traditional technology or another low-code tool set or platform. But the way that we keep up with this innovation that you are all creating is extremely important to us. And we do that by having 99.95% platform uptime and continuing to increase performance, which not only makes the overall user experience better, but also raises the ceiling on what you can all do. So for those of you that are deleting hundreds of thousands or millions of records on a regular basis, we made those operations 200 times faster a month ago. As well, a lot of you are using Quickbase for COVID processes. So doing things like COVID vaccination registrations and actually checking in residents in a county or a city on site to get their first or second dose of the vaccination. And we sped up those queries and those operations by 4x. And it's important to remember that the nature of Quickbase means you all get these benefits overnight. You just wake up to a faster Quickbase. There's no code deploys or merge conflicts or anything like that. Your Quickbase application just gets faster, and we love that. And we're doing all of this while serving a record number of requests, which now regularly are in 2+ billion requests per month, and actually increasing our foothold leadership in security. But we didn't stop there. That's all the under the hood tweaks that we're making to the platform. I'm also proud to announce that we're starting and kicking off our Performance Optimizer beta. This Performance Optimizer takes the best of what we've learned throughout our over 20 years of maturity in the space, and after seeing millions of Quickbase applications that have been built and used. And this Performance Optimizer benefits you in 2 key ways. First, it reduces the amount of maintenance that you have to do, which is already a record low compared to the industry. What that means is we go through your application and we look for a series of different patterns that we can optimize. Things like how a report is constructed or how permissions and summary fields are designed. We look for the most optimal way to configure those, and we actually make that change live on the fly with, of course, a series of checks and balances before and at the end to make sure that we have data integrity on the changes that we're making. Second, and something that I'm actually really excited about, is that we can actually fine-tune with surgical tweaks to your application things that would be impossible for us to roll out platform-wide. What do I mean by that? At any given time, we have hundreds of thousands of Quickbase applications running, and there are certain types of changes that we can't make to the whole platform because while they might speed up one particular application, they could adversely affect another. The infrastructure that we've created here actually allows us to make a surgical tweak to one particular application without impacting another. And that's something that we're really proud of. And you can see an example here on my screen of what some of those logs look like after the performance optimizer is run. And on average, when we find an improvement in an application, that improvement results in a 41% improvement in performance in that particular area of the application. This is something really cool. We've been working on it for a while, and we're excited to let you all try it out. While we're in this beta, we ask you to open a support ticket as an application manager. Give us your biggest, your most complex, craziest applications, and we'd love to run this either in simulation mode or for real and report back to what those results are. And then we're really excited over the next couple months to get this in your hands so that you can run it on a regular basis yourself. But this is really cool, something that we're really excited about. Now, all of this innovation, the innovation at the core, it's all powered by our special in-memory database. This is the unique technology that allows you to unlock value by combining all of the traditional layers of a software technology stack into one. What we mean is that when we improve performance at the core, everything gets faster. Your reports get faster, your dashboards, your pipelines, your API calls, they all benefit from that integrated nature of the Quickbase stack. And as we add features, something as perceptibly simple as a formula field, we're actually unlocking more insights. So your new dashboards, new summary reports, the way that your integrations can be triggered are all now more powerful simply because we've made a change at the core. So let's talk about Quickbase Creator, the fundamental Quickbase application creation experience. And to talk about how the changes at the core that we make benefit all of you, I'd like to invite Kat Catini to talk about some different enhancements that we're making to the core Quickbase experience.
Great. Thanks, Harrison. And hello, everyone. I am Kat Catini, product manager here at Quickbase. And as Harrison mentioned, really excited today to be talking about the new functionality that we have for all of our creators. So we have a few announcements, but before we get into those exciting announcements, I want to talk about how the new functionality that we have is really all about harnessing the power of your data, giving you more power, data capability with less friction and less building than ever before. And that's really going to be the theme of the announcements that you see during the creator portion here. So there are three things that we know. First, you have important data in your Quickbase environment. You have a lot of data, it runs your business. It's crucial that you have this data and you can access it every single day. And we certainly know that here at Quickbase. Secondly, we also know that Quickbase is all about the power and flexibility of our platform and our database underneath. You use that flexibility every day. You need it to be able to see and manipulate the data in the ways that make sense for you. And we completely understand that as well. The third thing, based on the first 2 points there, is that our new functionality that we're announcing today will allow you to now harness the power of your data in Quickbase, again, with less building and less friction than ever before, so you can capitalize on the first 2 points here. So with that being said, we're excited to announce today brand new functionality, starting with our formula query functionality. We've been working on this for some time with our development teams. It is coming soon to beta in June. So keep an eye out for that. We'll be inviting customers to the beta very shortly, but we do have our formula query functionality. I'm sure some of you already know what this is, already excited with just this one slide here. That's great. But for those that don't know what the formula query functionality is, we can talk about what value it will bring to you and how it's going to completely change your application building process, especially when it comes to formulas. So what Quickbase is going to do is now provide you with the functionality so you can manipulate and use your data in a powerful way and enable you to solve more problems. We've always been doing this in Quickbase, and as a builder, hope you're able to do that now, but we're going to give you even more power than ever before and allow you to solve even more problems than ever before with this formula query functionality. Boiling this down even further into one short sentence here, what's really different about the new formula query functionality? And reading this off, the new formula query functionality will now allow you to gather insights across tables without excess relationships and fields. And that's really how this new functionality is going to help you completely change the way that you're building formulas in Quickbase, especially when we say without excess relationships and fields. So if you've ever had to maintain a table or a relationship for the sake of a formula, you'll no longer have to do that. Your applications will become much easier to build, streamlined, etc. And we're really excited to announce this new way of building formulas. But when we say without excess relationships and fields, what exactly does that mean? And what kind of relationships and fields can you get rid of? Well, we'll tell you that right now. So with the formula query functionality, we're excited to tell you that we'll remove the need for you to maintain extra tables and relationships. So these relationships that you see here, reverse relationship, predecessor field, recursive relationship, one-to-many relationships, everything that you see on the slide and much more can now all be eliminated. You won't have to maintain these. You won't have to keep track of these in order to have your formulas work. That's now all going to be built into the formula query functionality. So we're really excited about this. Hope all the builders out there are also excited about this as well. And again, coming very shortly to beta, we'll soon have customers be invited. So keep an eye out for that. So very, very exciting with the formula query functionality. But we are not stopping there. So although that's exciting, one of the announcements we have today for all of our creators, we are not done there. We have another announcement and new functionality that we also have currently generally available. And that is our advanced summary reports. So again, generally available in all of your Quickbase realms right now. If you want to go ahead and create an advanced summary report after this keynote, feel free to do that. That will be in all of your realms. And really excited about this piece of functionality as well. But what is advanced summary reports all about, and how can they help you build better applications and get more power from your data? Well, really what we're doing with advanced summary reports here is raising the bar on what you can do when you're summarizing your data and solving a number of problems. Same kind of theme that we had with our formula queries, we're allowing you to do more with less. So now you can summarize your data in a report without having to have extra stats tables, extra tables in there that you wouldn't have to have if it wasn't for the summary reports. You can really do more with less, which is really exciting and something we hope all of our builders take advantage of. Because there are fewer tables and relationships that you would have had to manage, those stats tables I mentioned that you may be familiar with as a builder, you can really solve problems faster. This is now all built into the advanced summary report functionality. You simply make it in this part of the UI. You don't have to add a new table if you want to summarize your data or have an average of averages. It's all built in, so you can really solve problems faster and just build faster in general. And then lastly, because you have fewer tables and relationships, you can also maintain these much easier applications because they're much more streamlined. So again, doing more with less, really important here. When we say less, we mean less building, fewer relationships, and less maintenance overall. So really excited about summary reports here as well. But again, do not take that just from us. I can sit here and talk about the importance of the advanced summary report functionality. But really, I want to talk about how customers have already used this functionality and they're already getting value from it. So again, we're now live with this. We went GA about 4 weeks ago and already have a number of customers using the functionality. Over 1,300 visitors, individual visitors, have made a new advanced summary report. 700 customers have been in there, and they've made 16,000 clicks, over 16,000 clicks. So you can see customers already using this functionality, diving deep in there, creating these new summary reports, and we're really excited to see that. Thank you to those that have already created the functionality. Appreciate the feedback, appreciate you getting in there and using it, especially as we just launched this. And for those who haven't used it, feel free to dive in, get in there. We'd love to see these numbers go up as you use the functionality and can see the value more. The last thing that I'll leave you here with about the advanced summary report functionality is a customer quotation. So again, don't just take it from me or take it from us. I'll read this quotation out that a customer kindly left about the new report functionality that we have. So he said, "This is going to totally change the way I build apps. I can't say how excited I am and how many use cases I have for this feature." Love this quotation because it really does show how the summary reports is going to totally change the way that applications are built, much more streamlined and easy to do, and also how far reaching they can be. So how many use cases these can really apply to, and how much summary reports can really be used in our applications. So thanks very much to that customer for that quotation. Again, this is generally available. Feel free to get in there, make those new summary reports, and definitely send any feedback you have our way. We appreciate that. But we're not also done here. So we've already had 2 announcements talking about the queries, the query formulas, and the summary reports, but we're not done there. We have a 3rd announcement that we want to talk about as well, and that is our advanced summary reports in charts. So this is also coming soon to beta. Keep an eye out for that. We'll be inviting customers to that soon. But we didn't just stop with advanced summary reports. We're also moving that to charts. And we're doing this on purpose, mainly because this was a large amount of feedback we got from customers to be able to see this in charts, but also because we want to allow you to be able to visualize your data quickly and efficiently. So we're taking summary reports to the next level. Those summary reports will be very valuable to builders and those ingesting them, but also want to make sure that that data is able to be visualized. Users can understand that data quickly and efficiently. And that's why we're now visualizing those summary reports and bringing them to charts. So a quick announcement there, coming to beta very shortly. We're very excited about that, and more to come on those summary reports and charts. So thank you very much. And I will pass it back to Jay here to talk about our next segment.
Kat, Harrison, thank you both so much for taking us through that. Kat, great advances, great releases on what we're doing with advanced summary reports and with all the innovation coming in the formula language with formula queries. And Harrison, as always, we so appreciate, I know, all the work you and the teams are doing on making our platform more resilient, taking that foundation to the next level. Thank you both so much, and have a great rest of Empower.
Thanks, Jay.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Take
Jay.
care, guys. Yep. Now we turn to the next major section of the Quickbase product keynote, and we talk about Quickbase Insights. Quickbase Insights is a key area that really brings together a lot of innovation that's surfaced in an improved user experience for our users, for you and for your end users, where we start servicing operational insights in safe, secure, and easy to use ways. To talk to us more about all the advances we're making available at this Empower in Quickbase Insights, I'm excited to welcome back to Quickbase's Empower keynote, Ryan Murray, product manager at Quickbase. Ryan, welcome.
Jay, thanks so much for having me. I'm so excited to be back.
We're so excited to have you.
Yeah, we've got a lot of great stuff coming up, and I couldn't be, again, more excited to share some of the innovation that our engineers have in store for us.
It's great to have you.
For the past few years, I've been working with engineering teams to bring about the next generation of Quickbase Insights. Now, when we talk about Quickbase Insights, we're really referring to our reporting and our dashboarding capabilities. Now, at Quickbase, our goal is to unlock organizations' potential to adapt and innovate at speed. This makes them more responsive to their customers, more engaging to their employees, and makes them as flexible as possible to whatever comes next. Now, insights are key to achieving that goal, which is why we've spent so much of our product innovation in this area recently. You just saw Kat demonstrate the improvements we're making to our summary aggregation capabilities. In a minute, you'll see how our new modern table report makes it easier to interact with data in real time. And our direct integration connectors make it more possible than ever to get quick data into Quickbase for analysis. Now, all of that comes together in our new dashboards, which I am so excited to announce is generally available and ready for all of your production use cases. We've seen a wide array of implementations of the dashboard while it was in beta, from providing a consolidated view of many different help desk ticketing applications to doing analysis on production and quality loss on a manufacturing floor, to providing an overall business scorecard to senior leaderships. We've seen over 10,000 dashboards created while in beta, nearly 250,000 chart views. I really can't wait to see what you folks come up with next. So try it out today. Make sure to go to your applications, create a new page, and select dashboard. Now, our dashboards will allow businesses to get more insight from their data by allowing them to filter many reports on one page dynamically. You can break down silos by placing reports from different applications side by side on a single page. And you can orchestrate workflows by making the dashboard the default homepage for your applications. No need to rebuild any of your reports or restructure your application to take advantage of it. And you can surface these insights safely, knowing that Quickbase's roles and permissions are at play behind the scenes. Now at Quickbase, we have over 2 decades of experience in helping customers get insight from their data in Quickbase. And our dashboards have undergone several different iterations over the years. Now, with each iteration, at the core has been the needs of our customers to get more out of the data. Now, when we were reimagining what dashboarding in Quickbase was going to look like, it was important for us to build a foundation that we could innovate on, not just for now, but for years to come. So let's take a closer look at how our dashboards are constructed. There are really 3 key components to the new dashboard. The first you see here is the widget library. This ensures that you and your users have a consistent experience when they're interacting with the reports, charts, and widgets that they place on the page. Beneath that is our composable canvas, which will allow you to arrange these widgets much more precisely than you have before. This is another foundational piece of technology for us that we look forward to building upon and extending to other areas of the product. Now, holding it all together, my favorite part about our dashboards, and while they kind of are the unsung hero, is our widget registry. Now, this allows us to deliver new innovation to our customers faster than we have in the past. Our widget registry controls how the dashboard communicates to the widgets, how widgets will communicate with each other, and how we plan to allow our partners, our customers, and our systems integrators to extend Quickbase to new heights. Now, all of this is great, sort of at a high level, but I feel like it's probably best to get a closer look at how our dashboards work. I'm going to hop into a demo now. This is our new dashboard. The first thing that I want to draw your attention to, although I probably don't need to draw your attention to it, is our updated charting visualizations. We wanted to put a lot of time and attention into making this a much more modern, up-to-date experience to provide better insights on the data that you hold in Quickbase. Now, one of my favorite aspects of our new charts is our updated tooltips. So I can more quickly and easily get a sense of what's going on a particular category without having to hunt down an individual bar to get that information. We're also giving you better ways to organize your reports and your dashboards with dashboard tabs. You can now create curated, segmented views for your end users to fit your unique business process needs, all in the spirit of driving better insights on the data that you hold in Quickbase. Now, one thing, the sort of the crown jewel of our dashboard, as we're calling it, is the ability to filter many reports dynamically. For us, it was important to create an experience that was familiar to our users who have practiced with traditional Power BI tools. But it was also important to us to keep that the Quickbase magic, the ability to drill down to get that individual record level detail to surface insights and then take action on them. So you can see here, I drill right into a table report so I can then go ahead and create Kaizens for particular issues. Now, in the spirit of modernizing our UI, we also want to bring better ways to display and sort of share and read out the data that you have in your Quickbase apps. One way that we're doing that now is allowing you to expand widgets to present this to your coworkers, your peers, or even executives. Now, if I click expand widget from any one of my charts, I can flip through them to tell a story about what this data is telling me. And because we've spent so much time on the infrastructure, making sure that the way that you experience a widget while it's embedded is the same as it's expanded, you're still going to have that in-place drill down to allow you to get more information. We have our filters here. So if you're asked a question while you're reading out this data to your coworkers, you very quickly apply that filter, identify any outliers, and then take action right away. Again, lots of new and exciting things with capabilities that are being brought to light now with new dashboards. But just because we're now generally available doesn't mean that we're done building. This is an area of the product that we look forward to continue to develop for the foreseeable future. And we have plenty of opportunities for you to learn more about the dashboard and how to implement them in your own Quickbase apps at Empower, and then next month with live online virtual training. Now, for more information on how our dashboards are being used in practice, I'd like to play a recorded interview between Jay and Eric Tucker, who is a technology analyst at Southwest Airlines, to talk a little more about how dashboards are helping to drive operational excellence at Southwest.
We'd love to start by just having you tell us about your work at Southwest Airlines.
Sure. I'm one of the analysts on our technology change management team, and my team in particular performs assessments and of all the change requests that are targeted for our production and lower level environments. And as part of that function, we track metrics regarding success rates of all of those implementations.
Great. And could you tell me a little bit about how your team uses Quickbase to help serve Southwest mission and the customers that you all are working with?
Well, yeah, I've actually been part of several teams that utilize Quickbase in different capacities, everything from demand intake applications to request approval workflows. And my current team use Quickbase actually to track process improvement activity as well as operational metrics.
Got it. That must be, and just I'd love to hear you talk a little bit about the importance of these kind of continuous improvement efforts that you have at Southwest Airlines. Much has been written about what a cultural icon Southwest Airlines is and what a leading and innovative company it is. And so much of it, it seems, when you really drill in, comes to this culture of looking at everything to find ways to get better every day. We'd love to hear just sort of your perspective on that mentality with a kind of voice on the ground type of perspective.
Well, obviously, I mean, when you're one of the premier low-cost airlines, tracking the efficiency is critical. It's vital to operational success. And obviously, we have a variety of different implementations that we use to that effect. And Quickbase has allowed us to be able to capture critical metrics as far as how well we're performing and what tweaks or modifications and enhancements we need to make to certain parts of our workflows.
Excellent. Yeah. And I know that I certainly know that in your work with us, that you specifically have been a big user, an early user of our dashboards product, which we're so excited to be bringing to general availability today. Could you tell us a little bit about how you've used that and any perspective in terms of how they've impacted you and your business?
Well, definitely. As I mentioned earlier, it's, we are tracking the success rates of all the software implementations that go into our different environments and tracking the success rates and allowing us to be able to communicate that to the different teams on different levels. That has been a game changer for us, allowing internal customers to kind of self-serve, as far as their reporting needs and, customized report data across different portfolios and different teams. That has been the biggest win for us. And it requires a lot less overhead as other tools that we've used in the past.
Thanks, Jay, and thank you, Eric, for taking the time to talk with us about how you're using dashboards at Southwest. For this next portion of our keynote, I'd like to welcome on the one and only Alice Rich, who has a couple of exciting announcements to talk about. Alice?
Great. Thanks, Ryan. My name is Alice Rich. I'm a product manager here at Quickbase, and I've spent the last couple of years working on improving our reporting. So I'm really excited to share some of that with you all today. And first, as Ryan mentioned, I'm going to start with a big announcement. As of yesterday, May 24th, we have officially completed our GA rollout to make the new table report the default experience for all Quickbase users, which is an incredibly exciting milestone for us. Since table reports lie at the heart of so many Quickbase interactions, we wanted to make sure that we really took the time to get things right. We worked on them for about a year before we opened things up last year at Empower for everyone to try things out with our first ever open beta program. That was great because it let everyone try things out and give us their feedback and let us know what they think. That's also when you started seeing that new style beta toggle appearing at the top of all your table reports. Since then, we have gotten a ton of engagement. In that time, we've gotten over 600,000 clicks to toggle on the new table report. Those clicks were performed by over 160,000 unique users in over 8,000 accounts. We've also received nearly 7,000 individual pieces of feedback about the new table report over the last year, which is amazing. Truly, we read every single one. But here's why you should care about all this. All this activity, all this feedback has helped us make informed choices along the way based on real input from you, our wonderful community. So thank you to everyone who took a survey, participated in a usability session, or submitted any of this feedback. You have truly been an invaluable part of this process. Next, let's talk about what GA means for a feature like the table report where you have a toggle available and you can go back and forth between new and old. In the simplest terms, it means that your table reports will now default to the new experience, but you can still toggle back to the old when you need to. We'll also be keeping that toggle around so that for months to come, while we validate that the new table report style serves the same needs of the Quickbase community as the old style did. And that really allows you to solve all the same problems that you could in the old style. Eventually, though, we will remove the toggle so that the new table report will be the only style available, but that's not happening anytime soon. I just mentioned it here to illustrate our eventual goal. So that's what GA does mean. Now let's talk about what it doesn't mean. Similar to dashboards, GA does not mean that we are done working on the new table report. Far from it. In the short term, there are a few last mile pieces of functionality that we plan to add in from the legacy table report, things like adding a new subscription or marking a report as your favorite. After that, we'll turn our focus to a few smaller net new enhancements we'd like to make, including things like a better experience for filtering on blank values and displaying your totals and averages in line in your group header rows. Then a little bit further out, we'll get into some bigger projects with things like inline editing. So lots of exciting stuff here and lots more to come. Building off of the work that we did on new table reports, we have got another exciting announcement here. We have another new enhanced report type available for you all to try out in open beta, namely our timeline reports. It's been quite a while since these really got any love, so this has been quite a long time coming. But this is a great example of how the infrastructure work we've put in over the last year has really started paying off. Since the table report framework was already in place, we were able to use that as the basis for our timeline reports. At a high level, this enables us to deliver more modern report types and more modern experiences faster now that we've built this foundation out. And since timeline reports are built on top of that table report framework, all your favorite features from table reports are also available over here. Things like resizable columns, your nested collapsible grouping, and color coding as well. So go to any timeline report today, flip that toggle to try things out, and after you do, click that link to submit feedback and let us know what you think. Okay, switching gears just a little bit here. We've talked a lot about how we're improving the experience of visualizing your data, but what about creating your reports or making changes to them? Well, I have one more exciting announcement to make. Today, we have just begun a beta program for our new report builder experience. In creating this experience, our goal was to let you iterate on your reports more quickly and easily to get the insights you're looking for faster by keeping you in context right on the same page. Let me show you what I mean. With our new report builder, it really allows you to be much more agile. Instead of existing on an entirely separate page, our new report builder experience will slide out from the right-hand side of your screen so that you can make changes right in line as you're viewing your report. This is an animation of me adding a filter and some color coding to my report, but you'll see how quick and painless it is to do that without ever leaving the page. After I set up this color coding, I will then press save at the bottom of my report panel, and you'll see things update right away. Boom, there we go. Changes made, and I never lost my context. Next up for the report builder, I don't know if anybody in this audience ever uses any of those cool new dashboards that Ryan just demoed, but you see here on the right-hand side where it says customize report, more customization options coming soon. Well, this is where it all comes together. One of our next steps for the report builder panel will be implementing it on dashboards. So soon, some users in Quickbase may never need to go anywhere else. This will allow you to edit your reports from your dashboard without ever leaving this page. I've hit this point a lot, but I'm really excited about this. Once we have this in place, it's really going to be a game changer. But for this first beta program, our new report builder experience will only appear on Kanban reports. But that is truly just the start. The beauty of this project is that all the work is front-loaded. Similar to the efficiencies we gained with timeline reports by having the table report foundation already in place, now that we have the report builder foundation built for one report type, we'll be able to reuse it for all the rest with relatively little effort. So expect to see this new report builder coming to all of your other report types very soon. For now, though, we would love to have you in our Kanban report builder beta program. So if you haven't registered yet, please sign up at quickbase.com/early access and select the building apps category. All right, so we've talked about what's been recently released and what we've got coming in the short term with our beta programs. Next, let's talk about what we've got planned a little bit further out. And for that, I'd like to introduce Lisa Sawyer.
Yes, thanks, Alice. My name is Lisa Sawyer. I'm a user experience manager here at Quickbase, and I've been here for about 5 years, but I can tell you, I have never been more excited to be part of what the team has delivered in all the new announcements today. Table reports, dashboards, the report builder panel. We've delivered the modern look and feel that you would expect. But also, I'm excited by the sneak peek at all of the innovation that my team has already started to think about for what's on the horizon. So let me dive into that. In both what we've seen already, but in what is to come, the foundation and the vision of our work and our platform is to make it more intuitive, not only for builders, but end users. We are building on this foundation, and I'll show you exciting future steps, particularly with forms and navigation. One of the biggest things that we know needs updating, and one of the foundational areas of Quickbase are our forms. This year, we are embarking on modernizing and updating our form building experience. You'll recognize the flexible canvas approach to building with a what you see is what you get, drag and drop or add in place interaction, much like our new dashboards that Ryan already demoed for you today. Familiar building patterns between new elements, in this case, dashboards and forms, makes it so much easier and more intuitive for your builders to build. Next, I want to talk about navigation. Our goal here is to get it up and out of the way, giving you and your users more room on the screen for the tasks and data that you care about, and allowing for customization of links and navigation that gets the things that you want always available, keeping you in context with your workflow. And speaking of workflow, what if you could build and configure a button that triggers a step in your workflow, potentially using a pipeline that allows your users to move through a process, taking data along and filling in data as they go? There is a tremendous amount of opportunity here, taking the power of something like pipelines and democratizing this even further by enabling the integration into things like buttons. Now, if you're interested in learning more about the work I or my colleagues have highlighted today, either what were released over the last year or what we've got planned for next, we have some great sessions for you to check out. But wait, don't worry. This upcoming innovation that I've shared today is still very early on in the design process. In these sessions that you're seeing here and over the coming year and beyond, there will be plenty of time to give us feedback on all of this. So with that, I hope you all are as excited as I am about the innovation and great opportunity ahead of us. And with that, I want to hand it back to Jay.
Lisa, thank you. And Ryan and Alice and Eric as well. Thank you so much for taking us through all the great work we're doing in Quickbase Insights. I really appreciate it. Have a great rest of Empower, Lisa.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Excellent. Now, I'd like to turn to Quickbase Connections, where we talk about the work that we're doing to make it easier to connect our platform to third-party data sources and systems so that you can get access to more insights and unlock data to use in new and interesting ways within your organization. To talk to us about all the work that's going on here and what we're delivering today at Empower, I'm excited to welcome back to Empower John Karras, Quickbase Product Manager. John, welcome.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Jay. Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you. Really excited for you to talk to us all about all the things going on with Quickbase Connections. Take it away.
I'm super excited to be representing the team of folks across the US and our Bulgaria offices, working with all the great innovations on our connections pillar. Let's just dive right into a few different areas. What we've been working on, a customer story, some awesome announcements, and where we're headed in the future. Let's first take a look at some of the usage stats about pipelines over the past year since we launched this innovative new feature. Since last April of 2020, we've had a 70x year-over-year usage growth and adoption of this platform. That's just astounding. Last month, we had 43 million step runs performed, which was a record high. And we even now have 1,180 customers who've adopted and used pipelines. So you can see through the 14 months that this product has been out there, we've had an awesome adoption rate from all of our customers. Over the past year since last Empower, we've delivered a few different areas related to connections. The first is our continuous performance improvements related to scale, speed, and ability to kind of do almost anything you want with our pipelines. Pipelines is one area that we've made a lot of improvements, but we've also made improvements to our RESTful APIs that we launched last year. We've added a few different endpoints, including the relationships, user token, and my personal favorite, the triggered events. We also have added updates to our summary and fields endpoints, and even given you more status codes to help you have better understanding of what's going on in each API. On the pipelines front, we've had several enhancements. Our JSON and CSV channels are now able to fetch different files better and be able to use them more effectively in each pipeline. Our DocuSign, QuickBooks, and push bullet channels all received enhancements to allow more functionality for our builders. And lastly, we added a whole new suite of channels in this past year related to the workspace, productivity, and communications. Twilio, you're now able to send messages and data through the Twilio platform. With our Google Workspace suite, you're now able to tap into tools like Docs, Calendar, Drive, Sheets to be able to get information to and from the workflow tools that you want. And with Microsoft Teams, you're now able to send data from Quickbase and other applications right to your team's preferred chat and communication tool. To learn more about how customers are using pipelines to automate and integrate their workflows, let's listen into a recent conversation that Jay had with Sven Vo of Vumatel, which is a rapidly growing company in South Africa, which is helping connect the nation together through fiber optic internet access.
Thanks for joining me today. So really interesting conversation we had earlier about Vumatel and the work that you're doing. Can you tell our audience a little bit about your company and what you do there?
Yeah, sure. So Vumatel is pretty much a fiber to the home business. We are branching out into fiber in the business. We started about 6 years ago. I've been working there for about 5 of those 6 years now. And it's gained a lot of momentum. We've definitely sort of taken the market by storm. South Africa's quite a big country with a big divide between your higher, middle, and lower class income housing. So access to broadband internet was scarce in many areas. And even if you could get access to it, first of all, it was ADSL, so copper cables. It was slow and very expensive. It was quite monopolized in South Africa. So Vumatel sort of jumped into the market there. And we sort of offered competitive pricing with a much stronger competitive product. So yeah.
Sven, you and Vumatel have been pretty heavy adopters of pipelines. Could you tell us a little bit about how you're using pipelines? How has it helped manage sort of your workflows sort of as you look to connect and automate across different systems?
Yeah, sure. The pipelines feature is incredibly powerful, especially when you're comparing it to the embedded webhooks and automations. So primarily, we're now using them to reach out to our in-house API. So that sort of connects our Quickbase environment to our portal environment, which we display to the end user, to ISP, so they can place orders in the system. And pipelines allow us to do that integration a lot smoother. They're a lot faster, they're more reliable, they're less susceptible to sort of timing out and random failures that some of the webhooks have been receiving. So that will be the primary function. Second to that, we're using it for a lot of data correction. And what I mean by that is, some of our tables have about 50 automations running. And when you have that sort of workflow environment, a lot of things sort of get, lost. A piece of information should have updated and it didn't. But because I know that it should have, I've got like an hourly pipeline that sort of runs every hour and says, okay, well, collect a bucket of this data, check here, make sure it's updated and it matches. So it's a lot of data correction as well. And that's just primarily due to some of our shortfalls in design, but I can actually just use those pipelines as a quick way to correct it without impacting the business. So I don't have to bring automations down or rebuild them. It's a very fast and effective way to correct past mistakes.
Excellent. Well, Sven, thank you so much for taking some time to talk to me today. Really, just congratulations on the tremendous growth you've seen at Vumatel and the success you're seeing in the marketplace in South Africa, and all our best to your continued future success. And thank you so much for your partnership with us at Quickbase. We appreciate it greatly, and we're so proud to serve you.
100%. Thank you so much for having me, and thanks for the support. Yeah.
Awesome stuff from Sven and the Vumatel team. Thanks for sharing. I'm really excited to bring two new announcements today on the connections front. The first one is the My Pipelines page, and that's going to be GA next month. This is an innovative new way for us to have all of the information you need in one concise place and really help set the stage for a modern experience for building, managing, and debugging all of your connections. Let's go ahead and jump into a demo to show you what I mean. Here I am on my existing My Pipelines page, and you can see I can see only a few different pipelines at once, and it's good, but there's a lot of opportunity for us to improve it and make it a little bit more modern and insightful. When I flip the switch and trigger our new My Pipelines page, you're now going to see a kind of grid style layout that gives you more information all at your fingertips. I'm now able to see more pipelines, the channels about them, and also be able to trigger the pipelines on and off. Another aspect that I've really liked is our ability to filter and tag different pipelines. I've already went through and tagged several of mine related to the workflows that I have, and I work with our data team a lot. And I actually have a few different pipelines that are related to my interactions with them. I wanted to group them together, and now I have everything at my fingertips associated together. I can also filter and say, okay, which ones are involving Slack? Now I can see just those two channels that are involving Slack. Just those two pipelines that are involving the Slack channel. Lastly, we now have another way for you to see usage information. When you click on that pipeline, you have basic information provided to start. And also when you click on the pie, you can see quick usage stats. When was the last run? How many billable step runs? And then also your total step runs. Hopefully you can kind of get a sense of where we're heading with our modern experience for building, managing, and debugging all of your pipelines. Now that's just one announcement, but really helps set the stage for another announcement coming our way too. I'd like to announce our on-premises connectivity, which is going to be available starting this summer. Quickbase has historically been fantastic at accessing two different types of data. The data related to your other Quickbase apps, which you can access via Quickbase Sync or via our APIs, and then data based in your other cloud apps, which you can access via pipelines. Think of tools like Marketo, Slack, Salesforce. You now have access to get those in pipelines. Through our on-premises connectivity capabilities delivered via our on-premises agent and our ODBC channel, you're now able to actually access data that lives behind your firewall and on a private network. This is a game changer. Let me take you through it and kind of showcase what it looks like. Now the data that lives on premises is actually no problem. You can securely access this data behind your private network using those two layers. First, our on-premises agent, which your IT team and security team and database team would effectively install on your network. That is actually going to open up a whole new portal to the different types of apps and services and databases and ERP tools that you want to tap into. By having a secure tunnel, we're now able to communicate with our gateway, which lives on our Quickbase pipeline side. Then you can use it in a different suite of channels. We've already deployed tons of different app channels. We're now announcing our ODBC channel, and we have other areas as well, like our ERP channels for SAP, other cloud database channels, and even the generic channels like webhooks, JSON, and CSV. To dive a little deeper on what we're focused on delivering this summer, let's touch on that now. Our key database aspect that we'll be supporting and we've tested is our Microsoft SQL Server. So if you download our on-premises agent, install it on your private network, and now connect it to your Microsoft SQL Server, you're going to be able to write that SQL query, connect and access that data on a table or view, securely bring it through a pipe, end-to-end encrypted pipe, bring it into your pipelines aspect, into your pipelines area of Quickbase, and then leverage it in an ODBC channel to kind of freely move that data to wherever you need to. We also have the capability now to have on-premises apps like Jira by having that on-premises agent installed on your network. Then in pipelines, you can use it in our Jira channel. Also with this on-premises agent, you are now able to access your HTTP services. By using the on-premises agent there, you can use it in generic channels like JSON, CSV, and webhook to free and get that data into your cloud-based ecosystem. Hopefully you're as excited as I am in terms of how this capability is going to help change and unlock new possibilities for our customers. And you can kind of see where we're heading in the future as well. As we think about this and our strategic investments moving forward, there's really 4 key areas. Underpinning it all is our unmatched scale and performance, which we will continue to invest in. On top of that, we are going to continue working to simplify your builder journey. This includes continuing to make enhancements to the My Pipelines page. This also includes reimagining our designer experience. How can we make that more easy and more collaborative for other builders to use pipelines that you've been building? In the middle, we're really focused on building a wide range of integration channels. This includes being able to have you connect to large ERPs like SAP. This also includes getting those cloud databases. Think of Snowflake, think of Amazon S3 and other tools like that. We want to be able to help you access that data in new ways and bring it into your Quickbase ecosystem. This also includes data science platforms and AI channels. How can we help you tap into this new and exciting technology and build it into Quickbase? And lastly, we want to help you have a world-class admin experience. This includes getting pipelines and the functionality there embedded and integrated to other parts of your admin console and app settings. To keep learning more about the next pillar, governance, I'll welcome back Jay to the stage.
John, thank you so much. And also a special thanks to Sven. Really appreciate all you guys have done to take us through what we've done with Quickbase Connections. Next up, I'm very interested to introduce the topic of Quickbase governance, our pillar that really showcases the innovation and the investment that we're making to make it safe and secure for organizations working with us to deploy Quickbase broadly within their organization. This is a very important pillar. This is one we spend a lot of time thinking about what we can do to innovate, how we can extend our lead in our product to making governance of citizen development really strong, really broad. And it is central to how we build and release enablement services with our expertise, with our people, with the best practices that we've formed to help you, our customers, best take advantage of our platform in safe and sustainable ways within your organization. To talk to us about how we are making governance, our product, the people that we have available, and the best practices that we make available to our customers, I'm very excited to welcome to Quickbase Empower, Dave McCormick, Manager of Customer Success at Quickbase. Dave, welcome to Empower.
Hey, Jay, thanks so much. I'm really glad to be here. Appreciate it.
We're really happy to have you. Take it away on this really important topic.
Absolutely. Thanks very much. As you've heard today from our product teams, accelerating innovation and agility are just as important to our business as they are to yours. The innovation and agility Quickbase unleashes used to be seen as shadow IT, but now Quickbase is more often seen as a strategic asset that accelerates digital transformation. We've been working for decades to create this awesome platform, and we're working just as hard to help customers like you incorporate Quickbase into their business in a safe and managed way. Safe and managed Those are really, really important concepts to our customers, and they are to us as well. The good news is that we've been spending just as much time on governance and best practices as we have on the product. All that experience and expertise has really informed our governance framework, and it's also informed our recently announced enablement services offerings. We're really, really excited about these service offerings. Our governance framework really takes a holistic approach to your implementation of Quickbase. It looks beyond the applications themselves, and it moves into the people, the process, and the cultural change that you're going to need to have in order to create a Quickbase center of excellence within your organization. When you pair our governance framework with our enablement service offerings, you get even more resources and guidance to help you succeed. Our new service offerings are designed to meet you where you are in your governance journey, providing best practices, technical assistance, and dedicated consulting focused on your governance needs. These services are flexible and customizable. They're really to help you implement Quickbase in a managed and scalable way, evolving with you year after year, delivering the right outcomes every time. We're really excited about the governance expertise and services we have for you this year. And I'm very, very excited to bring Kat Catini on to talk to you more about the product side and how we're bringing a lot more functionality to the table to help you with governance there.
Thanks, Dave, and hello, everyone. Again, I am Kat Catini, Product Manager here at Quickbase. And now I'm excited to talk to you all about the governance capabilities that we have and the announcements that we have today as well. But before we dive into that new exciting functionality, first want to set the stage about our current governance offerings, features, and the way that they're set up in one centralized area for the admins to take a look at. So we have all of this functionality here on the left-hand side, plus much, much more that our realm administrators have access to in one centralized area that we call the admin console. This is done on purpose. We want to have one centralized experience and environment for our realm administrators to govern out of, and this is all included in that admin console here. Speaking of the admin console and adding new governance features, we do want to announce brand new functionality that we have right in the admin console, and that is our platform analytics. So new announcement, new functionality that we have here today, and this is currently generally available for all customers on new plans. So very excited to be talking about platform analytics. The teams have been working on this for some time, and now again, generally available for those customers. So very excited there. We'll show you what platform analytics looks like. We'll go through a live demonstration so you can see it right in Quickbase. But first, let's talk about what platform analytics is all about and how it's going to help you take the data you already have in your environment and use that to power your business. Really, platform analytics is all about the data and the power of that data. So what platform analytics can do is allow you to first visualize the data, again, you already have in your platform, so you can better understand what your users are doing, how they interact with Quickbase, where the value is they're getting from Quickbase, and other information about your users in your realm. Through this visibility, you can then gain knowledge into what's going on, understand user patterns, interactions, and then have that knowledge to make the best decisions about governing your Quickbase realm fully and wholly. So we believe that with the information you'll have from platform analytics, you'll be able to govern your Quickbase realm in a much more knowledgeable way in the future. With platform analytics, we have a two-page experience. So first, we have a overall dashboard page that we have, you can see down here at the bottom, that in different cards can show you high-level metrics. These metrics are delivered right to the administrators in the admin console. Don't have to go looking for this information, delivered right to you in these dashboard cards. Again, might even be the first place you log in and see in the morning if you are an administrator. Secondly, as a part of the two-page experience, we also have the drill down page. So if you need any more information about any of these top level metrics, you can find that, drill down, see this information, and also slice and dice the data and filter it how you need. So great two-page experience we have for our administrators, but we won't just leave it to screenshots here. We do want to dive right into the product, show you what it looks like, and show you platform analytics in a live Quickbase realm. So I've logged in as a realm administrator into my Quickbase. I'm in my admin console here, and the first thing I see is my platform analytics. Delivered right to me, I can see all these metrics that help me better govern my Quickbase environment, including information about my daily app users, total reads, user reads, etc. And again, they're all delivered to me. I don't have to go searching for this information. Today, as an administrator, I actually want to learn more about my daily app users. I want to know how many daily app users we have, how they're trending, if we're increasing. And this is also a KPI I measure as a part of the governance framework to make sure that users are getting value and information from Quickbase the way that we expect them to. So first card, I can see exactly that. I can measure my daily app users, the average over the past 7 days here, but I can also have a more detailed report to see trends over time. Here I've gone into my drill down page. I can see that information over time, filter on the information I need, and then also see those trends. So if I need to make sure that the daily app user number is increasing, I can see that over time and also manipulate the date range that I'm seeing here. What I can also do is see the applications that have the most users in them. So I can understand which user or which applications are the most powerful for our users, generate the most value, and I can see that down here at the data details report. So that is platform analytics, very high level. A number of other metrics we can dive into and see drill downs about. That's what we'll show you for the demo today. But that is just the beginning of platform analytics. So what we showed you is going to be great for Realm administrators, excited to have you all use it as soon as you can. But what we just showed you is really in the first 2 steps of this progression that we have. We have a future vision for empowering users through data with many more steps. Right now, we're telling you what happened and why did that happen. Again, the first 2 steps, but the future vision is much more than that. And we plan to build on platform analytics to bring much more information to you. In the future, we expect platform analytics to recommend actions and even potentially automate actions based on the information already in your Quickbase realm. So incorporating some artificial learning, some machine learning in there, artificial intelligence, that's where we're going with platform analytics, and very excited about this in the future. So keep an eye out. There'll be more about platform analytics and how it can do more for you in your Quickbase realm. The last thing I'll leave you here with today is all about app analytics. And this is really a sneak peek for the next step of platform analytics, only at the application level. So talked about the future of platform analytics just 1 slide ago, but also want to talk about bringing this information to the application level and providing this information for more users all over your Quickbase realm. Most importantly, with app analytics, we'll show you here in this prototype, is you'll also be able to see the information that is moving into your application and also moving out of your application, which we've heard from a lot of feedback would be great to see at the application level. So again, I'll leave you here with this quick sneak peek of how we're moving analytics down to the application level. And here's the prototype that we have for that. And with that, I will pass it back to Jay to wrap things up here. Thank you.
Kat, thank you so much. That looks great. I so appreciate it, and I know our customers will too. Dave, thank you also for introducing a little bit more about what we're doing with respect to governance. Just a tremendous amount of exciting announcements in this Empower product keynote. I couldn't be more thrilled, couldn't be more grateful. Here is a list of the entire set of target sessions and announcements for you to have a reference to go find out more of anything that was particularly interesting to you during this session. With that, I'm going to close out and just express my sincere thanks to all of our customers, to all of our community attending here today. And I want to express as well my gratefulness to all of my colleagues and the entire staff at Quickbase. Thank you so much for all the great work you do. And with that, I'll close out by saying thank you and have a great Empower 2021.